So if you don't know, great real estate deals are made. They don't make themselves. So I'd like to take you on a journey on my next real estate deal, right? From first glimpse, you may not think it looks good, but thanks to creative financing and a lot of real estate tricks and tips that I've learned since 2004, let's see if we can put this one together. Greetings, class. It's Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Today, I just want to take you on a journey. I think this is going to be a 2 or 3 part video because it's not done. This is the beginning of a deal that we're putting together. From first glimpse, right? We're going to go over these numbers together. May not look like a good deal, but when you peel back the layers of the onions and see how you can kind of put this thing together, you have to make a great deal, okay? Great real estate deals, they aren't just going to jump out at you and say, hey, come buy me, come buy me. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that, Roundup fam. Okay, let's go over the numbers real quick, and I'm going to, hopefully, I'm trying to remember the footage that we have to give you a snapshot of the property, and we're going to show you these liens and judgments as we're kind of negotiating this stuff. So let me give you the backstory. Somebody moved on to the afterlife, and they passed the property down to 3 heirs. 2 heirs, good to go, no judgments, liens. 1 heir, you know, it's always at 1, right? It's always at 1. Got a whole bunch of stuff coming with him. It's just part of life, right? So that's why we never, never, never put houses in our name, because as soon as you do, all the liens and judgments and creditors attach right to that property, right? So don't put houses in your name ever. If you do, I'm gonna come for you. I'm coming for you, okay? So round up. The ARV on this property is 189, okay? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, we have hired an attorney to work with us on this stuff because I need to get out of the way and let other people do what they do best, right? To deal with these judgments. And we've got footage of the attorney, so much good stuff. The attorney's gonna explain exactly how he's gonna work this. So you're gonna have to stay tuned. I can't get it all in one video because it's a lot of footage. So make sure you subscribe so you can catch how this thing unfolds, because I don't even know how it's going to unfold. Hopefully it will be in my favor, right? ARV on this one, $189,000. First mortgage. It's a line of credit, but for $150, but the owner only drew it down to $65,000. So they owe $65 on that line of credit. So I'm going to take this mortgage here, subject to. And if you want to learn more about the subject to strategy, just go into the video description below to some other of my trainings and you can see exactly how to put that together. Medical judgments, we got $14,000. Real estate taxes, I'll show you the title report there. It's like $7,000, but that was several months ago. So we got late fees, penalties, interest, all that stuff adding up on my taxes. Here's the big boy right here, child support roundup. Look at that, it's $55,000, right? It's no joke. How did the man, when I saw these judgments and liens as I was looking at them, I'll show you here a couple on the screen there. I'm looking at these judgments, like how in the world could a man have 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 16,000, just layered on, right? So many judgments. But here's the thing, you never know what people are going through. I don't know how many kids he has, but this particular one, it's really going to cause them a little bit of heartburn. So this is the big one here, and not to mention the reno. It's going to take us probably $50,000 to turn this one around, right? So all this stuff here adds up to $144,000. And the crazy thing about it is, now that the property has moved on to the heirs, the only thing that is really, the only thing that the two, like let's call them the 2 good heirs, right? We got 2 good heirs and one that's kind of challenging. They shouldn't be held responsible for this child support, in my opinion, but I don't make the rules. So the only thing they're walking into all this stuff, right? $144,000 worth of debt on a $190,000 house. This is what happens, Roundup. I see this more times than not, where someone moves on and they leave a big old mess, okay? So looking at this, one would say, you know what? I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm sure they probably showed this house to other people too. So when I looked at it, I said, you know, we got the first mortgage, can't do too much with that. Maybe approach it as a short sale, perhaps, I don't know. And I would like to keep this one to be honest with you. So we got medical judgments. I'm looking at this. Let's verify. This is going to be my approach. This is going to be my plan of attack, Roundup, and I suggest this for you. Great deals are made, right? They're not going to make themselves. Let's look at this medical judgment. Is it possible, or is it outside of the realm of possibility that we could get a discount on this judgment here? Let's attack that. Let's attack that, okay? Real estate taxes. Now we know 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a discount on real estate taxes. I haven't seen that in my career. But let's look at this child support judgment. Is it, once again, is it possible to approach the child support agency and say, hey, we know Mr. Smith owes you $55,000, but would you take X? Would you take 5, 10, 15,000 to give us what we call a partial release? A partial release, Roundup. Now, I don't want them to release the entire judgment because he owes it, right? He owes it. I don't know the backstory on the kid's mother and what agency, whether she's been paid or she's got government assistance for housing. We don't know. But we're going to ask them, and the attorney is going to walk us through that, right? Is it possible? Would you release that judgment partially so we could transfer this property? Let me repeat that. A partial release. A partial release, right? So not a full release, because the full release is going to say, you know what? You don't even owe the $55,000 anymore. We'll satisfy for $5,000 or whatever. So when we approach the child support agency, if they give us a partial release, they will release their lien against this house only. They're going to release the judgment against the house only, because right now they can't even transfer title unless the entire 55 is paid off. Okay, so if we get that partial release, they can sell the property, they can transfer it over to me, and then the remaining balance, Mr. Smith still owes it, right? So it won't be my responsibility. Look, I got the house out of his name. We gave you a small portion of this $55,000. Listen, you can keep going after him, because hopefully what I'm hoping is that the child support attorney or the agency won't penalize the other 2 heirs based on the problems of one. Okay, so we're prayerfully. We don't know yet though, right? So when you look at this, let's say we get this down, that's going to create some instant equity for us to maybe do this deal. I'm not quite sure, but the strategy we're using here, I'd like to take this mortgage over subject to. I'm going to take it over subject to and just keep making those mortgage payments. Hopefully get this discounted. Maybe I'm going to offer them $1,000. We shall see. I can't do anything there, but I'm going to hopefully offer these guys maybe 10 to 15,000, and that will create some equity. I need to be right around 90,000 to make this deal work. Okay, so if we buy it for 90, put 50 in it, we'll be in it for 140. We've got 25,000 profit, 20 in fees. That'll take us up to the 190. All right. So the next portion of this video, you'll see as I'm going to talk to the attorney. He's going to walk us step by step the strategy that he's going to put into play to try to kind of interface with the child support agency, because it's not fast, right? These people aren't sitting there waiting for us to call. So let's see what Brother Redden has to say as he talks to the child support agency. And round up what's going on. You can go ahead, Dave.
Okay.
Round up, I'm here with real estate attorney Dave Redden. You've seen the backstory. I told you about how we came to this deal, put it all together. So now we're going to hear from the real estate attorney how we can approach contacting child support and what could be our plan to possibly get them to play ball with us and what our next step should be. I want to let Dave do what he does, get out of his way, let him do what he's going to do so I can do what I do best, right? Which is buy houses. I'm not in the negotiation of judgments business. He's the man on that. So right now we're looking over the title report. As you can see, Dave is vigilantly trying to understand this picture, because real estate speaks in documents. So we'll bring you up to speed once Dave kind of goes over all this stuff, and his brain is no doubt hurting from the child support numbers that he is seeing in front of his face. And I can probably read his mind and say that he probably has not seen this much child support judgments in his lifetime. Or maybe he has. We shall see. We shall see. Well, Dave, I'm buying this subject to everything. As you saw a contract, right?
So we just want to get as much as we can knocked off.
Dave, the sellers, at this point, these sellers there's no equity in this.
They're not getting the dime.
Not at this point.
Okay.
So it's almost like, Dave, I'm here to say, what can we make?
What can we knock off?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Really?
Okay.
They've already agreed. You saw the contract. Everything's subject to.
Okay. This is 13. Okay. Those aside. Have you had any contact with the division?
We did reach out just to verify that the debt was. It was like I think they have an automated system where you can type in, and I think it was 60-some thousand for the original, but no human contact.
Now, how if we were to put to them an offer? How would you want to get rid of these as well as these two? Now, how do you, for example, let's say with penalty and interest or whatever they charge them in child support, we just go straight to them and say, let's say we offer them to pay off altogether 15.
Okay, I can live with that.
Then, let's say if the number is higher, this number is higher. Let's say it's
60.
let's say it's 40.
Okay.
Or anything 40 and above. What I would then offer them to do a partial release. Not releasing him from the total obligation, but releasing the real estate. Mm-hmm. The current condition that it's in, you might well say it's upside down.
It is.
And so there's no money. What you're just trying to do is get it and clear some of it up. So even if they say they can't pay it all off, they can't release this, the total amount, what you're doing is asking them to release the property.
Yeah.
And just say, we'll give you 2025. If this number ends up being, like you said, 50 or 60, we'll give you 25 just to do a partial release.
I'm good with
and
that.
Release the property. Okay?
I'm good with that, Dave.
So, with respect to child support, with the numbers that we have in front of us,
15 to 25, I'm good.
Okay, so you want to start with 20?
Yeah, it's fine.
Just start with 20 grand and see what they come with in our offer. Then, if they're not willing to release all of them, then ask them to do a partial.
That's cool. Well,
for that same amount.
What do you recommend we start with, Dave? Because I'm like 15. It sounds better to me, but I'm like, what makes you say 20?
Well, I'm thinking we were at 58. I would go down as like 10.
Let's do it.
If this number, if the total number that they give me is like 25, that's totally due, then I would offer 10.
I'm good with that.
And then if they say we can't do it for 10, and then I would ask them, would you release the property for 10? Do a partial release just for the property. Because there's no use of, when it's a lot of money like this, there's no real use of going back and forth with them, because what happens is it's money that the state has already paid them back, and they're trying to get all their money back. Mm-hmm. So what we're saying is, look, we're not in a position to pay you all this money back, but we're asking you to do a partial release for this real estate. Your lien can still be there, minus what we pay you, but we just want you to release this real estate.
Well, I want you to know, Dave, that the mortgage payment is 3 months behind. Mm. So once this thing forecloses, then they're done with the claim on the house.
Right.
And I have the mortgage statement if you need to see that.
Well, what's the mortgage company doing now? They initiated the foreclosure.
They're about 3 months behind.
And they understand that they're trying to. Well, even with that though, you're not paying them off. You're just gonna catch it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends, Dave. I'm not gonna do anything.
Right, unless we can make this happen. Right.
So it's so many contingencies.
Right. And then what's the mortgage payment monthly?
I don't know. I think it's $500.
Okay. So it's something that we can make happen.
Oh yeah, I can do
if
that.
all the other contingencies are resolved.
I can do that.
Okay.
Well, my plan was to take over the first, discount these guys, get them out of the way, and keep it moving.
Okay. Let me see.
You seen one of these before this bad?
No, I can't say I've seen one this bad, especially not child support like this.
Okay, Roundup, so you heard from my attorney. I am having to pay for that. I got to pay for that out of my pocket, right? It's just called cost of doing business. And I didn't even put up here closing costs, right? I can't charge the seller closing costs if they're not getting anything out of the deal, right? Because there's really no equity here until we find out how much we can discount these liens and judgments. Round up, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you know when the second part of this video is coming out. I'm not sure, once again, if we can do this one, but I love to just document so you can kind of see how these deals are put together. All right, I'm going to be hopeful and positive thinking. That's all I can do. Okay, share this video with any other real estate investors you might know. And I'd like to know, what would you do? What would you do? Because we could actually take over the real estate taxes subject to also. So we'll have this. I'll just keep making the payment on that. Eventually, I will just pay that off over time. I'd like to know. Tell me in the video description below, what would you do? How would you approach this deal here? This is Kris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.